Morning fiberglass.
Is to have more than a little European influence in American family transportation, then this pair is just your ticket. Our number 3 automaker mixed the aero appeal and practicality of a 5-door hatch with front-wheel drive power and world-class highway manners. The practicality includes good fuel economy. Government estimates for all models cover a range of 19 to 35 miles per gallon. Base prices also cover a reasonable spread, given the car's sophisticated image, between $9,754 and $11,437. But the LeBaron GTS Lancer has had some faults, mainly that both its fuel-injected and turbocharged 2.0.
From ABC News, World News Saturday, here's Kathleen Sullivan.
Good evening, everyone. As NASA tries to find out what caused the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger, there is plenty of speculation, but so far no official conclusions. Another theory surfaced today while the shuttle launch team gathered for a memorial service at Cape Canaveral. We now have 2 reports. First, John Quinones.
For 5 days now, NASA's Interim Review Board has been painstakingly studying impounded photographs, videotapes, and all the flight data from the Challenger's 75-second mission. Officially, so far, the space agency says it is too early to pinpoint a cause of the nation's worst space disaster. Today, however, sources close to NASA's investigation have given ABC's Jules Bergman what they consider the most plausible scenario of the tragedy. According to the sources, the explosion is believed to have been triggered by a rupture of a seam within one of the shuttle's twin solid rocket boosters. 66 seconds after liftoff, the sources say, the solid rocket on Challenger's right-hand side suffered a drop in pressure because of the leak. Fuel and flames began spewing directly at the shuttle's larger external fuel tank, which powers Challenger with 500,000 gallons of highly volatile liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Within 9 seconds, Challenger erupted in a massive fireball. The space agency would not comment on the report. Today, the Liberty Star, which normally recovers the shuttle's reusable solid rocket boosters, left Port Canaveral equipped with sophisticated sonars to scan the depths of the Atlantic for more of Challenger's debris.
The Coast Guard is still trying to identify a large piece of wreckage sitting on the ocean floor. NASA says it could be part of the astronauts' pressurized cabin. Divers and submersible vehicles are now taking a closer look. John Quinones, ABC News, Port Canaveral.
This is Lark McCarthy. Tearful and silent, NASA workers and their families gathered to say goodbye to the crew of the Shuttle Challenger. They looked out across the site of its last launch. Speakers tried to make sense of a moment frozen and awful.
Here among the machines and edifices of space exploration, we are reminded by the tragic events of the past few days that humans are our most precious resource.
Never has one nation been so totally helpless all at once.
Each, in his or her own way, touched every one of you.
Something that has to have sort of a finality, and I think this service, memorial service, provided that so that everyone can get back to work and get on with it.
The Astrovan that carried the Challenger crew to the shuttle carried a wreath of flowers today to a helicopter. The helicopter moved over the crowd and beyond Launch Pad 39B. At precisely 11:39 Eastern Time, the time Challenger exploded, the tribute of flowers was cast to the sea. The director of the Kennedy Space Center announced that each year on January 28th at 11:39, the Cape will observe a moment of silence. Lark McCarthy, ABC News, the Kennedy Space Center.
This late word from NASA, the Interim Investigation Board...
Myriad of possibilities being looked into in connection with the disaster. Some investigators speculate the flame burned a hole in the adjacent fuel tank and then ignited the blast. The films are of the final 15 seconds of the flight and show the Challenger from angles previously unseen. NASA says the investigation team is not going to jump to any quick solutions because, in the words of one spokesman, we need the right answer, not the fast one. While NASA was releasing its newest data, friends, loved ones, and the curious at the Kennedy Space Center paid another tribute to the fallen astronauts of the Challenger. Thousands of people took the